Two vacuums, very different prices. The question is, does a Dyson Gen 5 Detect actually clean better than the Samsung Jet 75? Or are you just paying for the name? I tested both of these head to head, hard floors, carpet, deep cleaning, hair pickup, battery life, all of it. Not based on spec sheets, actual testing. Here's what the numbers say. The Dyson Gen 5 Detect is Dyson's flagship cordless. It has laser dust detection, a piezo sensor that counts particles in real time, a full seal HEPA filtration, and an auto mode that adjusts suction based on what surface you're on. The Samsung Jet 75 is a mid-range stick vacuum. No smart features, no auto mode. But it's a solid cleaner at a significantly lower price point. So the real question is, how much does the gap in features actually matter when it hits the floor? At max power, the Gen 5 puts out 59.5 CFM at the nozzle. The Jet 75 hits 40.7 CFM. That's close to 50% more airflow when you crank the Dyson up. At low and mid settings, the gap is smaller, but it's always there. The Jet 75 weighs around 6 pounds with a tube and nozzle. The Gen 5 Detect is around 7.72 pounds. That 1.7 pound difference is noticeable on longer sessions, especially overhead. The Samsung also puts the handle behind the motor, which gives it better balance. The Samsung Jet 75 has a slightly larger dustbin at 0.8 liters, while the Dyson Gen 5 is rated at 0.77 liters. Not a huge deal, but worth noting. Both vacuums have detachable batteries, so you can buy a spare. But the Jet 75 has a catch. You can only charge the battery while it's attached to the vacuum on the dock, while the Gen 5 lets you charge the battery on its own, which is more convenient if you're running two batteries. The Dyson Gen 5 Detect uses the laser slim fluffy roller, which has a noticeably lower profile than the Samsung's nozzle. That matters in real homes. It slides under sofas, bed frames, and low clearance furniture that the Jet 75's bulkier nozzle just won't clear. If you have a lot of low furniture, this is a practical advantage that doesn't show up in any test score. Both score 100% on standard hard floor and carpet tests. Sand pickup on hard floors, same story. 100% Dyson, 99.8% Samsung. For everyday surface dirt, either vacuum gets the job done. This is where the airflow difference starts to matter. Gen 5 scored 100% in deep cleaning. The Jet 75 scored 93.25%. That 7-point gap means the Samsung is leaving embedded dirt that the Dyson pulls out. Next, we'll look at the hair pickup test. Gen 5, 95.8%. Jet 75, 82.4%. If you have pets or long hair in the house, the Samsung is going to leave a visible amount behind. The Dyson's nozzle has built-in combs that untangle hair before it wraps. The Samsung doesn't have that. One issue I noticed with both is hair wrapping on the axle area of the soft roller attachment, which is more tedious to clean with Dyson since it wraps tightly around this area. Whereas it was easier to clean the hair wrap on the Jet 75 since it didn't wrap directly on the axle. On hard floors at low power, the Gen 5 runs for 1 hour and 19 minutes. The Jet 75 runs 41 minutes. At mid power, 45 minutes versus 24 minutes. Even on carpet at max power, the Gen 5 lasts longer. If you have a large home, that runtime difference is going to matter. At max power, the Gen 5 hits 87 decibels. The Jet 75 is 82.3 decibels. Both are loud, but the Samsung is less aggressive on the ears at full blast. To check for air leaks, I ran a fog test, pumping vapor through each vacuum and watching for any escaping from the body. The Gen 5 came through clean with no leaks anywhere. The Jet 75 wasn't as tight. Vapor was visible seeping out near the dustbin where the filter exhaust sits, and again around the battery compartment. That means unfiltered air is making it back into the room while the Samsung runs. Something worth knowing if you have allergies or are sensitive to fine dust particles. The Gen 5 Detect's biggest advantage is cleaning performance across the board. It hits 100% on every cleaning test: surface dirt, sand, carpet, and deep cleaning. And it handles hair better than a Jet 75, pulling 95.8% on the hair pickup test. That comes down to airflow. At max power, it pushes nearly 60 CFM at the nozzle, which is almost 50% more than the Samsung. The battery life is another major strength. On hard floors at low power, it runs for over an hour and 19 minutes, roughly double what the Jet 75 manages. Add in the laser dust detection, the piezo sensor that counts particles in real time, auto mode that adjusts suction by surface, and full seal filtration. And this is a vacuum built to handle whatever you throw at it. It's the most expensive option in this comparison by a significant margin. It's also the heavier vacuum at 7.72 pounds. Not a deal breaker, but noticeable on longer cleaning sessions or when you're reaching overhead. The dustbin is slightly smaller than the Samsung's 2 at 0.77 liters versus 0.8. If you're not dealing with pets, thick carpet, or a large home, some of what you're paying for may never come into play. The Jet 75 earns its place by matching the Dyson on the tests that matter most in day-to-day use. Both vacuums score 100% on hard floor and standard carpet cleaning. The Samsung is no slouch on everyday messes. It's also lighter at 6 pounds and better balanced thanks to the handle position behind the motor, which makes it more comfortable to use for extended sessions. It's quieter at max too, coming in at 82.3 decibels versus the Dyson's 87 decibels. And it does all of this at a significantly lower price point. If your home is mostly hard floors and everyday debris, you're getting a lot of vacuum for the money. The gaps show up where the cleaning gets harder. Deep cleaning on carpet comes in at 93.25%, nearly 7 points behind the Dyson, meaning embedded dirt doesn't all come out. Hair pickup is the biggest weak spot at 82.4%, leaving noticeably more behind on carpet compared to the Gen 5's 95.8%. Battery life is also roughly half the Dyson's at max airflow settings, and there's no way to charge the battery independently. It has to be docked on the vacuum. No auto mode, no laser detection, no smart features of any kind. If you need a vacuum to do the thinking for you, this isn't it. For most people, the Gen 5 Detect is the better vacuum, but that doesn't automatically make it the better buy. If you have carpet, pets, or a larger home, the performance gap is real enough to justify the price. Better deep cleaning, better hair pickup, nearly double the runtime. Those aren't spec sheet numbers. That's what show up in testing. But if your home is mostly hard floors and you're not dealing with a lot of hair, the Jet 75 does a job at a fraction of the cost. Surface cleaning performance is basically identical to the Dyson. It's lighter, it's quieter, and it's genuinely a capable vacuum. Pick the Gen 5 if performance is non-negotiable. Pick the Jet 75 if you want capable, no-frills cleaning without a flagship price tag. Links are both in the description if you want to check the current pricing. Click the link below for the detailed comparison, including all the test results. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when I publish new comparisons like this, and I'll see you in the next one.